I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Next man up is always the philosophy. Sometimes the next man up just doesn't look like the guy that went down. But the expectations and the standards really don't change. I think we've done a good job here of the way in which we practice, and we've put guys in position. I know we've talked about that before, that if they do have to come up and play, hopefully they've gotten enough reps on the show team that they're going to be put in position that they've been working at as time's gone on, and hopefully they can compete and play well for us.
Green Bay Packers special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia yesterday from Lambeau Field on, I don't know if you caught that, Josh, the next man up may not look like the guy that went down.
Yep.
I feel like we probably should have been keeping track of all these drops. The offense is going to try to score more points. We got to keep the defense from scoring, points. The next man up may not look like the guy that went down. There's more. There's got to be more.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how it looks, right? As long as it works. We see it a lot in individual sports, bowling, golf. People have different swings, different speeds. As long as all the pins go down or the ball goes in the hole, you don't care.
Don't matter. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Happy Thursday. We are inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Hey, make sure to join us tomorrow in West Allis at Natty Oaks Pub and Eatery on National Avenue from noon to 6 as the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis and Wisconsin Sports Daily, plus a special playoff preview show with Tommy Wartz, all broadcasting live here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network tomorrow, noon to 6, with our friends at Natty Oaks Pub and Eatery. Good news, it's at noon because you'll be there with your big old bowl of chili. I'm certain of that.
That's right. If you've ever gone, I want to get a big old bowl of chili when Josh is there. Be there at noon. Be there for the start of the Mason Crosby Show because I will be there at noon.
Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Bucks, other. Let's play catch-up from yesterday here in segment 1 of Inside Wisconsin Sports. Lots of conversation surrounding the Packers' backfield came out of Lambeau yesterday, and unfortunately, due to the next man up philosophy that the Packers have adopted for the 2025-26 season, indeed, we're going to need somebody to step up for team energizer. Bunny Bo Melton suffered a now season-ending knee injury. Here's Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah, Rich was asked specifically, how are you feeling not having Bo?
Not good. I don't really know how to answer the question. Bo's kind of like, he's our inspirational guy, and the way he plays so many different places for us. He became the returner. He's the off guy. He does so many things. So, disappointing not having him. The way he played all year, now getting to this point where we're in the playoffs and he can go, do what he's been doing, and makes a big play last week, on the big punt. So it's not good not having him. I feel worse for him than I do for the rest of us for what he puts into this and the spirit and the energy that he brings to us. So he'll be missed for sure.
Josh, play the beginning part of that again. I'm telling you, it does not sound like he says not good. Am I wrong?
Not good.
Not good. Do it again.
Not good.
Not good. I hear it.
Okay. I hear F it.
Oh.
I know he didn't say F it.
FCC doesn't say that. He says
not
good.
I know. Just, you should, I know we're sure, but I definitely hear, I don't know, caught me a couple times yesterday as I was listening to that. Not good.
Not good.
See what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyway, not good. Not good. Bo Melton, all year, the Packers coaching staff has been saying that he is so much more than the guy that can play any position, apparently, at any side of the field. He's a huge team leader, and if there's one thing that the Packers could not afford, it's to lose more leadership.
So this, and I know I have questions coming up next, but if that's the case, and that you need someone like Bo, right, where he plays all over right? He's out there a lot. Why do you play him in the meaningless game? Why was he not on the list of people, or why are you pushing him that hard? Why are you not having him just in specific situations, even if you can't sit him, right? Because you need to have him on the active roster.
I think that's my point, though, is that they don't necessarily need him on the field because he is the guy that plays anywhere for any reason at any time. He's like the full-time fill-in guy. We all need one of those in our life. Like, well, here it's Tommy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not having Tommy. And Tommy's the locker room guy. Like, Tommy's the guy.
He's cutting that for sure. He's going to keep that clip and play.
Tommy's the locker room guy. Yeah, if I was him, I would. That's Bo Melton, man. He brings the room up when he walks in. So we needed him on the field this past weekend, just in terms of he was the guy that we could count on to allow Josh to go to Disney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on the same token, losing him to injury hopefully doesn't mean he's away from the team, because that's Bo Melton. There's not a guy that wouldn't take a bullet for that guy. He's just the team glue, the team lead, much like Josh Jacobs, much like Tucker Kraft. So losing another leader hurts, and hopefully he can still stick around. It sounded to me like there wasn't a quote-unquote major season-ending knee injury, but it was that he wasn't going to be able to rehab and make it back, which would keep it worth it to keep him on the active roster.
Right.
So they put him on IR.
Right. It's the timing and where they are in the season. I also feel like that's part of the reason why losing Bo Melton is, the news. It's a big story of the day, is because of the laundry list of names that are already there. When, sometimes you have that filling guy, you have that guy that's just there all the time, that you're not really putting the spotlight on him a whole lot until more and more pieces start to fall. And then you're like, well, hey, we have Bo. Hey, at least we still have Bo. Bo's here, right?
Yeah,
there's Bo. Not anymore.
Lots of Packers conversation throughout the entire rest of the show as we are upon the Bears-Packers playoff game Saturday night, 7 o'clock, wherever you stream Prime Video, NBC 26 here in Green Bay, and Fox 6 there in Milwaukee. The rest of the state, hope you subscribe to Prime.
Yep, get on Prime.
The Brewers put out a piece of audio yesterday. I love these mashups that they do. This one's in favor of Jacob Mizorowski. Brewers bringing the heat for the winner.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 101 pitch. Got him. 104. Oh, he tied him up. Scissor piece. Struck him out swinging. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Fastball and 102. We are witnessing something special here in this kid. Let it eat, young man. What a start for Mizorowski.
Yeah, love that. Hot stove, baby. Cannot wait for Brewers baseball. I hope, listen, if they put out one of those once a day, we'll play it once a day.
Yeah.
Just
Also, like,
in my veins.
Man, do we need him to have a big, put your big boy pants on season coming up for the Crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all the hype, and then he fell off, then he brought it right back in the playoffs, and then it was, you got to think too, when he started, they had him on such a severe pitch count. Like, it was crazy. It was like, he'd go like 3 innings, 2 innings. We're hoping that changes too.
I was born in 83. Josh was born after that. If someone listening can text us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line, 414-677-1250. This just popped into my head. How was the Brewers' 1981 season? That's got me thinking a little bit, because this was possibly the Brewers' 1981 season, and hopefully we're heading into 1982, only with a different outcome in the World Series. One would have to believe that the Brewers were as good as they were this year, although not quite, leading up to the 82 season. They didn't just all of a sudden show up on the scene and then disappear. What were the Brewers like in 1981? The Google, of course, can tell us.
Right. They were 62-47. They finished first in the AL East, and then they lost in the ALDS to the Yankees.
But what was the feel of the team? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line. Badgers didn't play. Bucks did, I guess. in finger quotes.
Yeah.
Got out to an early lead. I actually went to bed at halftime. I love the chippiness that was Draymond Green and Giannis Antetokounmpo, but all for naught. Warriors 120, Bucks 113.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I feel like this is going to be what we're going to end up expecting from this Bucks team is like they can hang for 3.5 quarters, but not 4. Like they're just not making it the whole game. And if they are, it's really close.
Are you prepared? Have you prepared your heart?
No.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
No. We're not there yet. There's Packer football.
Okay.
Still worry about and play.
Hopefully that's the case for a long time.
Yep.
A huge Marquette victory last night.
Yeah.
Marquette 66, Xavier 65. Their first win in conference play this year. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't know. This is a good question for a college basketball expert. But at this point in the season, I feel like people are already kind of putting their ideas of the tournament into play and seeding. And obviously, there's still plenty of time. But I think a lot of us are looking at this Marquette team as they're not making it. They're not good enough. Something's going to happen. So you could tell from just the Marquette faithful, they were like, hey, we won a game.
Yay.
We'll take it. And it ended up being against, a Big East opponent in Xavier. And they are, they had a winning record coming into the game. So absolutely take that. And I just would love to see if Shaka and Marquette could, have that be a jump start for this team.
We will hear from our guy, Jeff Levering, on the call on FS1 later in the show for the most electrifying sound of the day. I love that we loan him out. Listen to me. I love that we loan him out to basketball. But soon enough, Jeff will be back in the baseball side of Wisconsin sports. I just cannot. I get sweaty thinking about the Brewers. Like I'm that jacked for this season.
I'm very excited based on what happened last season. I hope that they can find that extra. I've seen a lot of people talking about like, are they going to make that move? Are they going to get that extra piece? And I'm almost like, I don't know what they would do. I think you just had a lot of young guys. I'm more interested to see if they make a move with Peralta or McGill. I still feel like there's a lot of time before opening day, and I don't know that both of them are going to be here come April.
The 920 on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Josh, do you think we get Middleton back?
No, I don't. And I just what does that do? Like, I want to know if we did get Middleton back, like, what is the reason we're looking at? Is it just for that veteran leadership? Is it just to have him playing back with Giannis? Do we think that makes a big difference in the team mentality and Giannis's mentality of just having Chris back? For that reason, I could see it, but I don't know that that's filling the hole of why the Bucks are losing games by 6 or 7 points.
Have you seen Hamilton?
No.
There's a song in Hamilton that George Washington sings that talks about one last time. That's the only reason I could see something crazy like that happening is one last time type of thing. It kind of reminded me of the Big Dog and Sam Cassell and Ray Allen. I mean, that's the comparison for Giannis and Middleton and Drew Holiday. And there's a lot to say about psyche, man. And if that is what Giannis needs to focus and put all of this behind him, but I still think the Haslam Sports Group is going to screw it up.
I mean, I've never had faith in Haslam, but I also think it's interesting to see kind of some of the things that Giannis is doing. Like in the game last night for the Bucks, Giannis got a delay of game penalty called on him because he refused to stop chirping at a foul that he got from Draymond, that he was like, this should be a flagrant foul. Absolutely, that's a flagrant foul. And he would not back down. And I like that. Like, especially if your team is in a position to where odds are they're not winning the East. So, just having it be like, no, now's the time. Get in the ref's face. Make a scene. Like, do something to try to say, hey, I'm pissed. I'm pissed off. The guy clotheslined me. Do something about it.
Well, they won't. They haven't all year. And if last night was any proof, again, they're not gonna. And that's crap. It's Giannis, though. I mean, this is just how they want this to play out, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Later in the show and in the next segment, lots of questions today about how do we feel about Jeff Hafley with Harbaugh out there now? How does it make us feel about Hafley staying or his odds of leaving and so on? Or maybe just how do we feel about Hafley here in regards to our defense and all of the things that surround him being a head coach somewhere else? It's a little bit of a distraction, Hafley said yesterday. We'll hear from him in the next segment. The morning mind dump. Josh has a request.
Yes,
I'm really excited for this.
I do. I was talking to Trevor yesterday, and I said, as a realistic fan, right, I like to pull things from the Pro Bowl, the Con Bowl, and form my opinions. I like to look at all possible angles, and I feel like the optimistic bowl, the Pro Bowl here, is a little light as I'm looking for reasons why this Packers team can go into Soldier Field and beat the Bears. Yes, I'm aware it's the Bears. Yes, I'm aware that the Packers almost beat them both times that they've played. But give me more. I'm looking for more.
Well, I've got a bunch more. I think we're just going to try to teach Josh today how to look at things optimistically, because when you have that lens on, it's not hard to find. There's a lot of optimism for Saturday night's game. I'll do my best to help paint that picture.
Great.
But I also don't have a pessimistic bone in my body most days. So if you hear this and go, geez, what fairy tale are you living in? This one. This is what every day.
I mean, all you got to do is go to the fan base on social media to see where the pessimistic view is. It's out there.
It's out there. The coaches and the coordinators all talked out of Lambeau Field yesterday. It was one of those careful what you wish for situations, because earlier in the week we were like, God, I wish somebody would talk. They all talked yesterday.
Here we are.
So we're going to do our best to share as much of that with you as we can. There was a conversation that came up yesterday as well about Mike McCarthy going to interview with the New York Giants. That got Josh and I thinking, has it ever happened before in the NFL where a head coach was fired and the team ended up bringing him back? Or maybe how do we look at the Packers coaching staff over all these years and see who became a head coach or who left the Green Bay Packers organization and then came back? We have a list to share with you there and get your thoughts on that. Guest-a-Palooza in the 8 o'clock hour will start at 8 in home territory with Dave Schrader, the sports director at WBAY here in Green Bay. And after that, we'll focus our attention to enemy territory and check in with friend Caitlin Sharkey down at WGN in Chicago. Before we wrap up the show and then get in that car and haul ass over to Margarita's Mexican Food and Cantina, the day is finally here. I'm so excited. I will gain some LBs today. I love margaritas. I'm there as often as my pocketbook will allow.
I'm almost positive too. I'm going there tomorrow. Like when I come and visit you, like all this talk about margarita, go there today. Tell me exactly how good it is. Say hi to 9 to noon. Enjoy some great food, and then report back to me for tomorrow.
9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. We'll be live from Margaritas today, and then our guy Mitch Thunder Nellis and the Mason Crosby Show will be on site live as well from noon to 2. 9 a.m., 2 p.m. today at Margarita's Mexican Food and Cantina, 2 blocks from Lambeau Field, just off Lombardi Avenue. I can't wait. I've sat in this place for a couple hours at a time, not 5. So
breaking records today.
Yeah. Hope you guys made some chips. When we come back, we have questions, and they mainly surround Jeff Hafley. We'll get to that next. We are inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? Good morning. Hey, remember, Wisconsin, if you miss a part of today's show, yesterday, today, tomorrow, whenever, open up your favorite podcast platform and search Inside Wisconsin Sports. Click follow, and you'll be able to check in wherever, however you so choose when it's right for you, if indeed you miss part of the show in the morning. The show, Inside Wisconsin Sports, with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up to JB and the 920 chiming in? There's a spot that runs on the radio station on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network here in Green Bay where I talk about being the bald guy at the bar at Margaritas. Come out, let's have lunch. I'm the bald guy at the bar. JB just texted in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line and goes, how do I find you? Are you the bald guy at the bar by chance?
Yep.
That's me.
There you go.
He also wants us to give you a heads up. I'm not sure if it's slick down by you, slippery, in the Milwaukee area, maybe in Wausau and Duluth Superior too. I cannot drive to work, apparently, this winter without not being able to not slide all over the place.
Yeah.
It has been quite the winter, specifically in the morning of snow and ice and sleet. So, too, is true this morning here in Northeast Wisconsin. Just be careful.
Same here.
Things are a little foggy, ice. It was like a frozen fog this morning.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the roads are slick, but they are.
Black ice, indeed. All right, Josh, we have questions.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question. Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. What questions do you have this morning that the all-knowing Josh Albrecht can answer for you?
I have a question.
What's your question?
You ever have one of those questions that's not laid out well? Here it is. Here's mine. Jeff Hafley?
Question mark? Yeah, I think so. I think Jeff Hafley. So let's break this down. You wanted to note that John Harbaugh is on the market. And how does that feel and make us feel about Jeff Hafley staying or going? And what's the word on him?
Yeah, so this is there are two different times when it comes to coaching decisions in the NFL. When your team is eliminated, and then the teams that aren't eliminated. And the teams that were eliminated immediately started the chatter, national talking heads just salivating at the opportunity to start talking about coaches being fired, moving on, opportunities, who are teams going to interview, lining those up, hearing those stories. And a lot of times, if it's not a coach that isn't doing anything, it's someone, they're looking at teams that are still playing, and they're going, we're going to go get that guy. Right. We saw that Ben Johnson was, a lot of the guys in the Lions organization. It was looking at that. So there's been a lot of talk already mid-season about Jeff Hafley not being here. That flame got lit even more when some of these teams started firing their coaches. And it had me asking the two questions of, one, the more names that come up for interviews, does that make us feel better at all about maybe Jeff Hafley not getting a head coach job over some of these other guys now, like John Harbaugh? And two, are we satisfied with Jeff Hafley as our defensive coordinator, or would we honestly be okay moving on from Jeff Hafley?
Well, let's go after the first one first. This actually came up in the conversation the media had with Jeff Hafley yesterday. Listen to what he had to say. Here we go. Ready to run through a wall again? Here's Jeff Hafley on what he loves about being here.
Part of the Green Bay Packers, and I never take that for granted every day when I drive in and I get to see Lambeau Field, honestly. I mean, I'm a guy who started coaching Division III football and worked my way up to be a college head coach, and now I'm part of the greatest NFL organization that there is, getting to call the plays. So that is so humbling to me. I love the defensive players that we coach. Like, I love these guys, and I love the staff, and I love working for Matt. And I never take that for granted, not 1 second, which is why when I answer that question, I don't think it'd be fair to anybody in here, anybody a part of this, for me not to give everything I have for this game. Would one day I like to be a head coach again? Absolutely, for sure. But like, just even answering this question for you right now, I just am so grateful and so happy to be here and be part of this. And I've just loved coming to work every single day here. Like, even joking with you guys, like, I know sometimes it's hard and you ask hard questions, but you guys have been incredible. And I mean that. And it's not like that everywhere. So I thank you guys for that. Everything that I have been a part of here, from Goody to Ed to Matt, it's just been like, what a blessing to be here for me and my family.
Long answer, but incredible
Mm-hmm.
when comparing whether he wants to be here or not be here. And what I heard him say was, do I want to be a head coach again? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was 2 years ago at Boston College. And to have his name
not
even
in the NFL.
Well, to have his name even mentioned in the NFL head coaching is humbling and amazing. And on the flip side, that sounded to me, Josh, like he really loves being in Green Bay.
Yeah, it sounded to me like he'd really love to be the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Otherwise, I think he's ready to go. What I heard, there was even one point in there where he said, he used past tense. He said, I've loved being here. Not, I love being here. And that whole thing that he said, it seemed, I mean, he's always spoken well, but it seemed laid out. He's had those thoughts. I can't blame him. You hear people talking, throwing your name around. Obviously, you're going to focus on your job, right? And the task at hand. But I absolutely think that regardless of what the Packers would try to do to extend him or keep him here, if another team wants him to be head coach, yeah, he's going to go take it.
Yeah, he's certainly going to listen anyway. So, all right, to your second question of, well, are we as high on Jeff Hafley as we were in regards to how the defense has performed? Evan Williams was asked this in the locker room yesterday. Here's what he had to say about Jeff Hafley.
I'm sure he'd be elite. I mean, he seems like a guy that, strives for, perfection in anything he does. And, I have no doubt that, in whatever endeavor he, chooses to go into, he's going to be, one of the best of the best. So hoping he stays here forever, but, that's just not how things go. But, no, hoping that, he's around this locker room for a long time.
I thought that was fascinating. Yes, he could be a head coach. He's elite. He's a perfectionist. And I hope he stays here for a really long time.
Yeah, forever. He said forever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't expect the players to say anything bad about him as it is. But from a fan perspective, I think, and I am in the camp of I'm pro Jeff Hafley, but I'm curious if anyone is out there saying, hey, look, he lost Micah Parsons, and we saw this defense not be able to stop Derrick Henry. And does anyone blame? I guess I'm curious if anyone blames any of the defensive faults on Jeff Hafley that we've seen in this 4-game losing skid.
The Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250. Do you blame Jeff Hafley for the little skid and the lack of defense post Micah Parsons? He was asked specifically yesterday about his opportunities, both in the head coaching ranks somewhere else, and obviously, where does he stand on this weekend's game against the Bears? Here's Jeff Hafley on his new job opportunities, and also, guys, it's the Bears.
Hearing my name out there, that's obviously extremely flattering and very humbling. All that stuff, it can be a distraction, so I'm trying to lock in on these playoffs and do the best that we can. And then whenever that time comes, we'll figure it out and go from there. But for right now, this is the Bears. So I am going to do everything in my power to focus on every minute that I have to give this organization and our players everything I got to go win this game.
I believe him.
Hell yeah.
I believe him.
Yeah, I believe him too. God, he's good. He's good at that. He's really good at that.
Mm-hmm. The way that press conference ended yesterday was like, and we're not done yet. I will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even a, hey, all the best. Take care. Talk to you guys soon. Nope. We're not done. I will see you next week.
Yeah. Let's go.
I was like, let's go.
Yeah. Love that.
The Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250. Yeah, Josh.
So when we're looking for our listeners' perspectives on Jeff Hafley and how they're feeling, Tell me yours, Trevor. Where are you on Jeff Hafley? One, do you think that he's still the DC in Green Bay next season? And two, if not, are you okay with that, or do you think that's a big loss for this team?
Well, if I only say he'll be the DC if he doesn't take a head coaching job. He's going to get interviews. There's going to be requests. He's grateful for the opportunities, and he wants to be a head coach. But I also heard him say that he really loves being here. And so if he doesn't get a head coaching job, indeed, I still believe he'll be with the Green Bay Packers, regardless of what happens with Matt LaFleur. Normally, when a head coach goes, I'm not saying that that's going to be the case, but let's just hypothetically play this out. If Matt LaFleur doesn't stay on as Packers head coach, I don't think Jeff Hafley's going anywhere. I think he stays as defensive coordinator, if not, gets an opportunity to be the head coach here in Green Bay. The defense massively improved when they let Joe Barry go and brought Jeff Hafley in, and then they added Micah Parsons to the toolbox.
Yeah.
You can't really blame Jeff Hafley for not having the plan all put together. The more and more I thought about the whole rant we went on about dust off the defensive plan that existed before Micah Parsons. Well, that defensive plan had a Rashawn Gary that was worth a hoot. It had Lucas Van Ness coming out of his whatever he was in the first 2 years. It had Kenny Clark and Devontae Wyatt in the middle. It had, you see what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot to that plan that he's not working with today, and it's a next man up mentality in the NFL. So I'm good with Jeff Hafley. I'm totally good with Jeff Hafley. I also think, just based on health, right? Evan Williams will be back. Trayvon Diggs is here. Xavier McKinney's got some experience. Keyshawn Nixon asked to start against the Minnesota Vikings when they were sitting all of the other starters. And Hafley said in his presser yesterday, that carried a lot of respect with him and Keyshawn Nixon. I personally love Jeff Hafley, and I want him to be here in Green Bay.
Do you think that there's any chance that he's the next head coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get to that point, because I think there's a good chance that Matt LaFleur is the next head coach of the Green Bay Packers too. But if Matt LaFleur moves on, I do indeed think that Jeff Hafley would be a part of the conversation, and that's pretty rare. That is rare, where if a head coach is moved on from, that members of his staff stay. Usually they run with the head coach wherever that head coach lands. In this case, I think Jeff Hafley would probably get the first interview right out of the gate. How do you not?
Well, I think it more becomes, do the Packers, feeling pressure from other organizations, decide, all right, we're not going to keep both. We can't keep both. Do we jump off of the Matt LaFleur train and jump on the Jeff Hafley train? Or do we have to say, hey, Jeff, thank you for everything you've done for us. Good luck. And hopefully you're, a coach in the AFC, not the NFC.
The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line, 414-677-1250. The 920 says, do we blame Hafley? Absolutely not. In my opinion, it comes down to the effort in this next man up league. That's true. It's hard to watch Rashawn Gary play.
262 also said, I have loved the way that Hafley schemes his defense and just the overall theory. If there was something like a West Coast defense, finally the Packers have something like Shanahan's philosophy. 3rd and 6, cool. Finally, someone who brings the house and eliminates all timing and route issues to deny an offense a chance at a first down. He makes things seem simple most of the time. Okay.
It sounds like Team Hafley to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Right above that, the 920. I wish I had what you're smoking, Trev. It's a pipe packed full of optimism, my man.
Pipe full of positivity. There you go.
Pipe full of positivity. There you go. I love it. All right, when we come back, it's the most electrifying sound of the day, and I think for the first time this season, it involves Marquette.
Absolutely.
Go. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A pipe full of positivity. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Time for the most electrifying sound of the day.
It's time for
The most electrifying.
sound of the day
The most electrifying.
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
All right, James leaning in, left hand, no good. James with a big boy rebound, a big gold. Back to the lead. Time winding down. Got it loose. It's no good. And Marquette with their first win in Big East play.
And that call from Jeff Levering on FS1 of Marquette, beating Xavier, is our most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. So Marquette gets their first win in Big East play, and it was exciting. It wasn't a blowout, but also, I mean, it was against, I don't know that any game in conference play is really going to be heavily favored for Marquette. So good to just see them win and at least keep us along for the ride through the rest of their season.
It is so awesome to see that I have bred positivity. My son, huge Marquette fan, has been down, as you might expect this season. Just got a selfie from him with his Marquette jersey on going, we are so back.
Yeah, there you go. Hey,
See?
enjoy it today. Enjoy it.
Yeah, that's valid. Well, I don't know if it's going to stick around. But
That's okay. You can celebrate the win today.
There's a day happening later this year. I thought I had it on my calendar. I cannot find it for the life of me, but I feel like there's a game later in the year where Marquette plays during the day and the Bucks play at night.
Oh, yeah.
We're coming for that game.
Go watch a lot of basketball.
Day. I can't wait.
Be great.
Rhodey doesn't know that yet, but it's not on my calendar, so don't get your hopes up because I thought I had it scheduled and I don't see it. So we'll see. But we did that a year or two ago, and it was an absolute blast.
Nice.
I don't know how the Fiserv does that. They flip that thing around from Marquette to the Bucks. Same building, same everything. Just flip.
Yep.
New court, new graphics. Have a good night.
Flip over the pieces.
CB in Milwaukee on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250 wants to chat a little Jeff Hafley as we approach the top of the hour. What's up, CB?
Hey, how's it going, man? I definitely want Hafley to go. I want Raheem Morris. You probably can get the best out of Rashawn Gary more than Jeff Hafley.
Interesting take, CB. Thanks for the buzz. So I
Yeah.
heard this yesterday. Raheem Morris, Matt LaFleur talked about this earlier in the week, a very close friend of Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
I also found some audio from earlier this year or at some point last year of Matt LaFleur talking about how hard it was to let Joe Barry go because he was friends. So as I see that as, Raheem Morris would be an incredible defensive coordinator, I don't know if Matt LaFleur would hire one of his best friends on his staff.
I don't know. I don't know how to judge Matt LaFleur and how he holds on to coaches at all anymore because of Rich Bisaccia. But I do think that's an interesting point from CB on wanting to let him go. And we have another one here from the 414 that said, I'm a huge Hafley fan, but I wouldn't want a defensive coach for a head coach because any success you have offensively, you're guaranteed to have an OC turnover regularly. It's easier to hold on to a great DC than a great OC. So very interesting of, the other side of if Hafley walks, so be it. That's how it goes with defensive coordinators.
What am I missing, though, about why we wouldn't want a defensive mind to be the head coach?
Yeah, and I feel like I asked that yesterday. I was confused on that because I'd heard that from a few people, and it didn't make sense to me. If you're a good coach, you're a good coach, right? Isn't that why there's still coordinators? There's an offensive coordinator, right? We have Adam Stenovich. He has a job. And then we have Jeff Hafley. He has a job. And then you have the head coach, right? That's there. I made the tree. And so if you have both of those guys, then the head coach is supposed to be the leader of of both of those. So why does it matter if your head coach is, more of a defensive mind? I don't know.
The only thing I can think of is that we are very used to the head coach here in Green Bay being the offensive play caller. I feel like Mike McCarthy was for the longest time, then he wasn't for one season, and then he took it back quick. Matt LaFleur has been the offensive play caller. I can't remember. Was it Mike Sherman before Mike McCarthy? Who was the coach for the Packers right before?
Right.
I think he was the offensive play caller as well. It's just something that we're very used to here. However, last I checked, offense wins games, defense wins championships.
Yep, I've heard that too.
I don't care if he's a defensive mind of the head coaching position. Let's win.
Right. Do you like Matt LaFleur as a play caller?
I do. See, that's an interesting question, Josh, because Matt LaFleur as an offensive mind is as good as they come. I just don't think he can do both. This is me personally.
Yeah.
I don't know that he can be the head coach and the leader of the pack and be the offensive play caller. I think he would be an incredible offensive coordinator because he has been.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he has what it takes to be the head coach leader of the pack.
I mean, it sure would be cool if they swap places and he became the OC of this team. No offense to Amsenovich, but I also don't see that happening. I mean, if Matt LaFleur is no longer the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, he's going to be the head coach somewhere else.
Yeah. Hey, Ed Policy. Hey Matt, we're moving on, but we're curious. You got your family's here,
right?
Parents are here. You want to stick around as the offensive coordinator?
Yeah. We'll still let you call the plays on offense.
Slight pay cut.
Ooh, that'd be really tough. Talk about a dynamic going from working under Matt to then having Matt work under you.
Well, I will take the under on that bet for sure.
100%.
The morning mind dump is next here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Here comes the pipe packed full of positivity. Josh is struggling to look at this game on Saturday night through the view of an optimistic lens.
I don't even know that I'm looking at the pro and con list. I'm looking at the pile of pessimism and optimism. I see the pessimism. Give me more optimism.
You got it. All sorts of optimism about Saturday night Packers-Bears coming up next. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't God that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Next man up is always the philosophy. Sometimes the next man up just doesn't look like the guy that went down. But the expectations and the standards really don't change. I think we've done a good job here of the way in which we practice, and we put guys in position. I know we've talked about that before, that if they do have to come up and play, hopefully they've gotten enough reps on the show team that they're going to be put in position that they've been working at as time's gone on, and hopefully they can compete and play well for us.
I think this one hurts not more than the other ones, but it's just like, come on, even Bull Melton's going to get hurt this year? For real?
I know. It's every injury over like the last 2 or 3 games has been like a just salt in the wound of, you got to be kidding me.
Stop already. That was Rich Bisaccia talking about Bull Melton going on the IR yesterday. The knee injury that he sustained against the Vikings, not major in terms of long-term, but long enough where they know they're not going to be able to get him back for the playoffs, so off to the IR, Bull Melton goes. Optimism time. What's up, Wisconsin? Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and we will be live today from Margarita's Mexican Food and Cantina, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. And then Mason Crosby's show with Mitch Thunder Nellis will be broadcasting live here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, 9 to 2 today from Margarita's Mexican Food and Cantina, just off Lombardi Avenue here in Green Bay. Come on out and say hello. As soon as this show's over, gone.
So where are you going?
Straight to Margarita's. All right, time for the Thursday edition of the Morning Mind Dump. Here we go.
Voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food. We've got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law fan talk and text line, 414-677-1250. Thoughts, comments, questions, concerns that you just got to get out of your head or off your chest as you start your Thursday here in Wisconsin. Josh and I had a long conversation yesterday about, all right, there's a lot going on here for the Pack and the Bears, and 1-1 on the season, now off to Soldier Field, and the weather doesn't look good, and the Packers are banged up, and it's the playoffs, and oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, and we talk about it all the time. I try to lay out and explain, and then people get mad, and that's fine. I'm not telling you how to fan of just how I am as a realistic fan in comparison to the, power of positivity over here in Trevor. So, looking at this game, there are obviously positives and negatives, and we've talked about the negatives a ton. Obviously this team very banged up, a lot of season-ending injuries that have hurt this team. The fact that the team is coming into this game on a 4-game losing streak, the fact that the last time these teams played, the Packers had the opportunity to put them away, and they blew it and kind of gave that ooh-rah-rah to the Bears. Okay, so we got those. We got the negatives in place there. The positives that I know so far, right? One, the Packers have beaten the Bears, and they almost beat them again.
Yeah.
Right? So realistically, they should have beat them twice. There's one.
I love that you can't talk about optimism without using the word realistically.
I know. I'm sorry. But it's a positive. They should be 2-0.
I agree.
They're 1-1. They should be 2-0. That's a good thing, though. So it's not like they're going up against an opponent that has had their number every season or all season long, et cetera, et cetera. second, it's the Bears, right? And so we like to hang our hat on the fact that the Bears always find a way to bear. True. They haven't done that a whole lot this season, but maybe they, we live on that because we've expected it for the last 2 decades. Third, we didn't play anyone besides, I guess, Bo Melton, that needed to get that rest in week 18. So we didn't get back some of these players that their season ended, and obviously that hurt. But the guys that were there, that were playing, that were banged up, got to rest, and now they should be more healthy. That's what I have on the positive side. I think those are good arguments for both sides. I want more. Give me more positive points, please.
Here we go. I've got more. We're going to start there about this whole resting thing. Yesterday, Jordan Love was asked if it felt like he hasn't played in 3 full weeks.
Oh, man, no, it doesn't really. I think still just practicing all week and, staying locked in and, obviously was suited up last week, was ready to go. But, it's been a couple weeks, but, no, it doesn't feel like that. I think, just staying with it in practice.
That's good.
We talking about practice. Can I
dude, we're one sound clip into the whole segment that's dedicated to optimism. Let me go.
Okay. All right, fine, go.
Okay. I found a story from this season, Josh.
Yeah.
Where Jordan Love sat out for 3 straight games and only practiced. And in his first game back, he was absolutely incredible.
Love from the pocket to the end zone, and Kraft has it for a Green Bay touchdown. Here's Love, heaving it down the field, and he's got his man, he's got Dobbs.
Talking about great athletes.
Dobbs would be a guy they expect would come up big in this game, and he has so far. Here he is throwing to the end zone. He's got a touchdown pass to Jaden Reed. Packard is on the board again.
Before that game, he had only practiced for 3 straight weeks. And in that game, Jordan Love had his second best passer rating of this season at 128.6, his second best quarterback rating of the entire season, and his third best completion percentage of the entire season, all while not throwing a single interception and winning the game against the Detroit Lions 27-13.
Boom. I'm definitely a fan of Jordan Love getting rest over worrying about rust. I think that Jordan Love's going to be Jordan Love. I'm not worried about Jordan Love in this game at all. I think he's going to have his composure. I think he's going to be what Jordan Love can be. My big thing, and what I was saying to you there quickly, was the practice aspect of this. And this is me. I'm curious. We hear that all the time, don't we? We hear it from LaFleur. We heard it from Hafley about, these guys are doing really good in practice and practice. And then Jordan Love saying like, well, I've been out there in practice. And obviously practice is important, right? Like that's all they can really do. It's that they can't play more games until the game. But have you ever in past seasons, like, heard that be the focal point as much for when things are good or when things are bad of, well, hey, we had a great week of practice and it showed out there. Yeah, we had a good week in practice and I don't know what happened out there. Like, it's just all coming down to practice.
Yeah, that has happened in other seasons. I think we're really narrowing down the focus with the injuries this year. Like, all right, how's the week going? Are we healthy? How do we practice? Who's resting? Who's not? But in this scenario with Jordan Love needing to rest this past weekend, being forced to rest after his concussion, and coming into the postseason completely healthy, I wanted to find something that would give us hope that indeed we can count on Jordan Love to be peak performance Jordan Love after 3 straight weeks of not playing in a football game and only playing in practice. And the Detroit Lions game to start the season is a great example of how, okay, all right, we can count on Jordan Love to come out with, quite the bit of talent on the field. That was a good game for him against
Sure was.
the Lions. So that's optimistic number 1. Here's optimistic piece number 2. The idea of not having a backfield is silly. Even though I understand the stats are what they are, However, McKinney, Williams, Nixon, oh my.
Pass intercepted. And Evan Williams has the theft. Flacco going deep, looking for Judy, and it's intercepted. Xavier McKinney with his first pick of the season. Young throws it quick. End zone shot. Picked off. McKinney kept the feet in bounds. Winston fires. End zone off target. Picked off. It's Evan Williams with the interception. Career. Rashawn Gary gets there this time and forces an interception. Gary got his hand on it, and Isaiah McDuffie picked it off. McCarthy down the seam and too tall and picked off. Second interception for the Packers the last two drives. Evan Williams, second week in a row, he's got one. Williams looking, throwing, and intercepting! Keyshawn Nixon and the Packers will win it.
7 interceptions on the season. That's every last one of them from the Packers this season. Okay, now hear me out here. I get it. The stat line isn't great. And Caleb Williams has thrown 7 interceptions this season. The weather looks awful in Chicago on Saturday night. Temps in the 20s, winds between 25 and 30 miles an hour, wind chills in the teens, rain, sleet, snow, something. It doesn't look good. My point is, add Trayvon Diggs to that mix, who Jeff Hafley said yesterday expects him to be ready to play and potentially be a difference maker in the game. I'm fully expecting the Packers to have an interception on Saturday night. It's the whole idea of, wow, are we overdue for something like that? True. And how many times this season? Josh, I think they could have twice as many interceptions if they catch even some of the ones that have somehow, for some reason, gone through their hands this year.
Yeah.
Optimistically, I think we're going to have a pick on Saturday night.
That one I can't buy. I need to see it.
Watch the game Saturday. You'll see it. I can't wait. I'm going to text. I'm going to blow your phone.
I hope you do.
Up.
I hope that it breaks from all the text messages I'm getting about interceptions that this Packers secondary actually get. But it hasn't been there. And so I'm looking at what I've seen. And I can't ignore the stat line and say, the do theory in a playoff game is tough for me to hang my hat on.
But you also can't ignore the stat line that there's been some. Evan Williams, Xavier McKinney, Isaiah McDuffie. We've intercepted the ball. We're showing that the defense can play in a way that sets themselves up for interceptions, especially when the play breaks down and the quarterback tries to make something happen. And if you don't think Caleb Williams, one of these times is going to screw that up, you're wrong. It is going to happen where, listen, we just have to figure out how to catch. Watching those interceptions back last night, as I was pulling that audio and putting this optimistic piece together, it was something on how, put your hands out in front of you and try to catch the ball instead of behind you with your shoulders in your chest. They can do it. They've had other opportunities to do it, and I expect them to do it on Saturday night. By the way, all of this audio, credit to ABC, CBS, LMNOP, ESPN,
there you go.
Prime Video, Netflix probably in there. All of this audio is pulled from the game audio of all of those broadcast platforms. So thanks for letting us borrow that.
If you take away the Jets, which obviously, they're the Jets, who didn't have a single interception all season long for the first time in NFL history, a team has done that. Then you have, after that, 3 teams tied with 6. Those 3 teams that have 6, being the Cowboys, the Titans, and the 49ers, all also have their pick 6. They all have a pick 6 as well. And then with 7 is the Packers. So technically 5th from the bottom, and 0 yards on those INTs, on those 7. Yes, they had interceptions. Absolutely. But everyone has except the Jets. That's not good enough when you're going against the team that has the most. If we talk about, and we're going to talk about week in and week out, the turnover battle and how important the turnover battle is against the team that has the most turnovers, that has taken the ball the most, That's not you can't go. You can't have that. You
Does
just can't.
optimism make your skin crawl or something?
No,
like when we try to point out
I'm
optimistic things, you're like itchy.
That's like saying the roads are bad right now, or it's raining out. But hey, it has been sunny in the past. Yeah, but I'm getting wet outside. I'm looking at what's happening currently.
I'm starting to think that's why you're struggling to see optimistic things of the Green Bay Packers, because you don't allow yourself to live there even for a hot second. Like you can't even hear something optimistic without combating it with realism or pessimism.
Listen, you said the point about Jordan Love. I agreed with all that. That's an optimistic point that also made sense. He talked, he backed it up. It made sense. Jordan Love has had a good season. You saying, hey, here's all 7 of the interceptions that the Packers have gotten this year in comparison to the 3 other teams that have gotten 6. Woohoo! I'm sorry, that just doesn't do it for me.
Do you remember the start of the Jordan Love conversation where I had to interrupt you and go, for the love of Pete, let me go positive for just a hot second? I shushed you. I had the shusher.
Yes.
If you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Shush.
And I let you finish this point. I didn't interrupt you at once.
All right, we'll see if this. Well, can we see if this one sticks then?
Okay.
Daniel freaking Whelan.
Yeah, team MVP.
Team MVP is right. Second in the NFL in gross punting average at 51.7 yards. Tied for 5th with net punting average. Total punts, this is where it gets weird. Total punts, 27th in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We don't punt. But boy,
even in games we lose.
When we do, right, 3 times.
Crazy.
Kidding? But when we do, man, that's something we can count on for sure. Rich Bisaccia yesterday in his presser talked about just how special of a player Daniel Whelan is.
I think the thing that was impressive for him is the way he played in November, December, and January in difficult weather conditions that we play in, whether it's here, Chicago, Philly, all those different venues that we play in late in the year. He's produced and he's played well in those different weather conditions. And I think that was organizationally part of the thing that impressed them and impressed all of us. I've been fortunate to be around some really good punters, but he's a special player.
Hell yeah, he is. I'm all about that, and I'm agreeing with Rich Bisaccia. You hear that, state of Wisconsin?
Drop.
I 100% agree. Danny Whelan has been amazing, and the superstitious fan in me is saying, I want him to punt 1 time in this game,
just so we win.
Just so that we win, because I'm afraid if we don't use Daniel Whelan at some point in this game, somehow statistically improbable, they'll go 0 for 4 in games that he doesn't punt.
That would be wild.
I went back with a team that's been so just crazy, pull your hair out on special teams. It's been awesome to have Daniel Whelan. 100%.
He was mic'd up earlier this season. I went back and watched that last night. Dude's a funny cat. Like a really funny dude. Bisaccia talked yesterday in his presser, and we'll get to some of the pieces that the head coach and the coordinators came out with yesterday in their press conferences. But he talked about how important it is for McManus and Whelan to get out there early in the pregame and start to analyze the wind and what's going to happen where and what type of punts. And a reporter asked him, so do you have like a playbook that you go off of in how you're going to tell these guys what to do based on conditions? And Bisaccia said, well, I'm pretty dependent on them telling me what their conditions are.
Mm-hmm.
And then I write down some notes and we talk about, for instance, in this part of the game, hey, Daniel Whelan, what are we looking for in terms of the type of kick? Where do we want it to land? Put it here. McManus, if we kick to open the game, here's how I want you to do that and where to put it and so on. So it was interesting to hear Bisaccia say yesterday how dialed in he is to the kickers and the punters and the special teams players. I just wish that showed up on the field sometimes.
100%.
And in Daniel Whelan, we trust. So there you go. I mean, there's some optimistic things that we can point to, and the team and the coaches are optimistic too. We're going to hear from them next about how important the backfield is going to be in this game on Saturday night.
Also, we see you guys chiming in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. We will get to your texts and reactions as well on the other side. Get them in now, 414-677-1250.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tomorrow, remember, we're at Natty Oaks in West Allis. Natty Oaks Pub and Eatery on National Avenue from noon to 6, as the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis will be there. And Wisconsin Sports Daily, plus a special playoff preview show with Tommy Wartz, broadcasting live on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Tomorrow, West Allis, Natty Oaks Pub and Eatery.
Yep, and I will be there as well. If you ever thought, man, every Friday Josh is there getting that big old bowl of chili, I'm going to join him for one. Tomorrow's the day to do it.
Interceptions are hot and heavy in the conversation on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250, and they were hot and heavy in the conversation yesterday at Lambeau Field. A lot of you are chiming in about realism and optimism. The 715 says realism overrides optimism because it's real, not hope. You can't will an interception into existence just because it's happened before. You know what? I'm sure going to try. And so too is Matt LaFleur. He talked yesterday about what it means to have Evan Williams healthy and back on the field.
He's a ball hawk, and he's got a nose for the football. He's really intelligent. He can anticipate things. It's like having another coach on the field.
Okay, that's good.
That's
that
high
sounds
praise.
like optimism to me. The 262 says none of the other, here's the opposite side now, Josh.
Yep.
None of the other teams' interceptions have anything to do with our interceptions. Those teams aren't playing on Saturday. We've had 7, and I feel like we've missed 10 at least. And Caleb Williams throws them under pressure when he's scrambling. We should be able to see that it's likely we'll have one on Saturday.
So there's a very optimistic take of hoping that there's an interception. See, I look at it kind of like, if you're looking at it from a realistic standpoint, willing it into existence, yeah, that's a little bit more difficult for me to get on board with. But hearing Matt LaFleur talk about his faith in Evan Williams and having a healthy Evan Williams and what that can do for this defense to create that opportunity for an interception, okay. That's good. That I get. I'm on board with that.
Yay.
That's different than saying, they can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Jason in the 920. Why are you so big on Diggs, Trev? He was cut from Dallas. If he was great, he'd still be on Dallas. Well, 2 things there. Number 1, he wasn't cut because he sucks. He was cut because he and the front office were no longer seeing eye to eye, and they no longer wanted to pay him what the contract said he was owed. That's that. Number 2, I'm big on Trevon Diggs because Jeff Hafley is big on Trevon Diggs. He was asked yesterday if Diggs has had an interception in practice. Well, the answer was no, he's only practiced once. However, listen to how this ends.
No, I don't know if he had any opportunities to have any picks in practice. I see his ball skills, though, when we do individual. He's got a lot of length and can go up and get it. So hopefully we'll see a couple down the road here.
I mean,
here there.
Yeah. So 2 things. First, I mean, he wasn't having a great season in Dallas, but that also didn't seem to be the reason why he was let go. It wasn't. So both things are true. He wasn't playing great, but he wasn't cut because he wasn't playing great. There were other extracurriculars. Also, we've seen in sports all the time, including on this Green Bay Packers team, of players that weren't playing great that magically find their way to Green Bay and can turn things around. And now you're going, man, I can't believe, other teams didn't see this. I can't believe the team that this guy was on, said, now we're done with this guy. I do think it's interesting hearing Jeff Hafley. Yeah, okay, so he's honest about he hasn't really had an opportunity. He can go get the ball. How much do you think we're going to see of Trevon Diggs on Saturday?
I think he's going to start.
Yeah?
Hafley said yesterday in his presser that he's up to speed. You saw in the game against Minnesota that he had a wristband on, and they were doing all of the play calls that he would need to know. He had his footing right on certain coverages. He knew where to be when on other coverages. He's doing really well in practice. I understand you can only give that so much weight, but Jeff Hafley believes he could impact the game on Saturday. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, that would be so awesome.
Stenovich. So we got LaFleur on the defense. We have Hafley on the defense. Stenovich. Adam Stenovich talked yesterday, Josh, about Josh Jacobs and handling him different due to injury.
Yeah, there were times, and we kind of leaned on Josh to let us know when he was good and when he wasn't. There was times, where he just felt like he couldn't maybe be out there as much as he wanted to be. But I would say Ian Brooks did a nice job stepping up and filling in at certain points throughout the season. So, it'll be good to get him out there. Hopefully he's full speed and ready to go, and we can get his best ball right now.
I find this interesting for two reasons. First, we already heard from Matt LaFleur earlier in the year when we knew that he was banged up, that he said, he lets us know when he's good to go. And Josh Jacobs confirmed that. He said, I think that they, this coaching staff at this point trusts me when I say if I can go or not. But we've seen him be out there and then talked about, no, maybe he shouldn't have been out there.
Yeah.
and so it was interesting hearing Adam Stenovich say that Jacobs was out there or not out there in times when maybe he would have wanted to be, because I was like, God, he was out there a lot, even when he was banged up. When wasn't he out there that he thought he maybe, he wanted to be? That was point one. Point two, if Josh Jacobs is healthy, that's got to be the biggest positive going into this game against Chicago. If we believe the weather conditions are going to be a factor, and you have a healthy Josh Jacobs, which I don't know at what point in the season, right? It's been a long time.
Yeah, not since New York.
That we've seen a fully healthy Josh Jacobs. That is a good sign.
That is a great sign. And because Josh Jacobs yesterday in the locker room said he can't even feel the contusion he had on his left knee anymore. It's gone. And so one could say we hope he comes out and makes a difference in the game, specifically in the red zone, which is directed right at the 262 who chimes back in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Hope is not a strategy nor a method. Yes, it is.
Well, it's not necessary, but this isn't hope. This is looking at a statistically great player who has performed very well this season in the red zone. That has not been healthy. Now healthy. That is a fact. That is a fact that our team just got a lot better when you add in a super healthy Josh Jacobs.
And we hope Josh Jacobs can perform in the red zone. No different than we hope Jordan Love comes off of a 3-game rest and hits the ground running like he did against the Detroit Lions in game 1 of the season. Hope is a strategy, because if you don't have hope, what do you have? Literally nothing. You hope the players that you draft and develop turn into the players that you need to strategize around. Hope is the strategy. It's the entire thing.
When was the last game that Josh Jacobs played fully?
Whoever they played before New York.
No. Not healthy, fully. Because didn't he play half a game against what did he do against the Ravens? Was he in against the Ravens? The fact that he's not feeling that injury at all anymore kind of has me thinking to myself, should we have maybe sat him and not let him go and limp into some of those games if this was something that could get him to where he's at now in this short of a turnaround? Unless I'm forgetting and he has been out longer than I realize.
No, you're right. And I think the answer is yes and. So, yeah, could he have used more rest? For sure. And all of these guys, I go back to chatting with Pepper Burris on the podcast. All of these guys, specifically in the last quarter of the season, are hurt. The idea is, can we avoid them becoming injured? Many of these guys are hurt, banged up, bruises, bumps, bones not in great condition. Sometimes their heads are a little fuzzy after a hit like Jordan Love took 3 weeks ago. And the idea is, can we battle through and get them healthy enough so that when the playoffs come, Josh Jacobs' left knee no longer feels like the knee he's been battling since the game at the Giants.
Yeah. Ziggy here says two things on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, and I love it because they completely contradict each other. So first, he says Caleb's going to throw at least 4 to 5 50-50 balls, and our guys won't catch it. It is what it is. Let's hope for a strip sack. Then he goes on to say, hope isn't a strategy. Do people forget about Rogue One? Star Wars. Rebellions are built on hope. Last I checked, the rebels won. Okay. Well, but Ziggy, if that's the case, then why couldn't we hope for a 50-50 ball? You just said that ain't going to happen.
The 715
being a fan is awesome.
Right above Ziggy and says, hope is not a strategy. Come on, Trevor. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Nope, that's the most optimistic thing you've ever heard.
I still agree with him that it can't be the strategy. It's part of playing the sport is hoping that things go your way, but it can't be your strategy. Your strategy has to be built on execution and a game plan, and
and you hope they execute it. You guys, the whole thing is about hope because we don't know. That's what you're missing. You put a game plan in place, and what do you do? You hope the players execute the game plan. Hope is the whole thing. You hope Rashawn Gary makes it to the backfield. You hope Lucas Van Ness has the game that we haven't seen him have yet. You hope Jordan Love doesn't throw any interceptions. You hope they score in the red zone. The whole thing is hope.
See,
the whole thing is built around the strategy of hoping everything comes together.
See, and I look at it and I say, I expect Jordan Love to do that. I expect Josh Jacobs healthy to be able to bang it in the red zone and take care of I expect this Packers defense to figure things out because they have Jeff Hafley and these players need to be what they're getting paid to be. So I don't use the word hope. I use the word expect because that's where my expectations are with the Green Bay Packers. If I'm sitting here going, boy, I sure hope they can, to me, that's not a sound strategy. Sure, hope and is part of it, but I'm expecting these guys to do their jobs.
At this point in the season, Josh, with all of these injuries and everything that the Packers are up against this season, do you expect that or do you hope that's the case?
I expect Jordan Love.
Since when?
To be the lead.
Since when?
What reason has he given me not to? That's my point. I believe in Jordan Love. I absolutely do because he's given me reason to.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm just
Josh Jacobs has gone out there and made some absolutely incredible runs, been a huge leader on this team, and given me no reason to not expect that he's going to put on a performance. And that's an optimistic take, people. That's me believing in Jordan Love, believing in Josh Jacobs. I believe in these guys. I'm not saying that I hope that Josh Jacobs can have a good game. Hell no. The man has proven to me that he can do it, so I expect him to do it.
Deion Sanders always said, this is from the 262 on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Deion Sanders always said, look good, feel good, play good. That's hope. He believed he would play good just by feeling good. He did okay. I hope our players are optimistic. I hope our players are hoping and are not pessimists who claim to be realists.
Okay.
I think that was at you.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. I'm listening. I'm used to it. And also, I mean, who was Deion Sanders? What'd that guy ever do? Just kidding, obviously. No, listen, that's fine. You have to put yourself in the right mindset, right? Especially, I think Jordan Love was asked about that too. Just about playing the Bears and being in this position, and he said, "This is everything you want. This is absolutely everything you want as a player is being in this position." Right. Absolutely. So go do it. I'm still looking at information that was given to me. What you've done for me lately. What you've gone out there and done. Jordan Love, hell yes. Josh Jacobs, yes. Christian Watson, yes. Our offensive key weapons have been on fire and proven that they can play well when healthy. Rashawn Gary, I'm hoping. Right? Rashawn Gary, I don't have that expectation. I'm hoping that in the biggest game of the season, he figures it out because he hasn't. That is realism.
I learned, look at this from the 715. I learned something from today's show. My strategy is to become a millionaire. That's hope. So I guess I can quit my job. I'll be putting my resignation in shortly. Oh, silly gooses. You silly gooses. I like the one from before that, too. The 920. This is a quote from May from Ted Lasso. Don't you know it's the hope that kills you? Look at Shawshank Redemption. Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies.
What about this from the 920? Hope is a fine strategy for being a fan. I'm not sure I'd be thrilled if Matt LaFleur said in this presser that his plan for the game is he hopes XYZ executes.
That's what we're talking about as fans. That's exactly right. Thank you. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm saying. I've learned in life that expectations are disappointments waiting to happen. So therefore, I expect very little in life.
Yeah,
and
you
instead,
keep your expectations extremely low.
Extremely low. And instead, I spend a lot of time as a fan hoping that all of this comes together. So is hope the strategy or is expectation the strategy? I don't know. I don't care either. I just want the team to play well and beat the Bears. And I hope that happens. And unfortunately, we have to do it without Bo Melton.
Yeah, it's true.
Here's Rich Bisaccia yesterday talking about how bummed everybody is that Bo Melton hurt his knee against the Vikings and is now on the IR for the rest of the season.
He's our inspirational guy, and the way he plays so many different places for us. He became the returner. He's the off guy. He does so many things. So, disappointing not having him. The way he played all year, not getting to this point where we're in the playoffs and he can go, do what he's been doing and makes a big play last week, on the big punt. So it's not good not having him. I feel worse for him than I do for the rest of us for what he puts into this and the spirit and the energy that he brings to us. So he'll be missed for sure.
Yeah, that stinks. And Bisaccia said it right. It's obviously it sucks for us. This team has been beat to hell all season long. But Bo Melton has definitely had some awesome moments this season. He's been playing on all sides of the ball, literally, and to just not have him then be able to enjoy being out there in the most important game of the season, that sucks for him too.
When we come back, do you hope Matt LaFleur is still the head coach after the season, or do you hope it's someone else? What's your strategy? Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Silly gooses. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. If not Matt LaFleur, hypothetically speaking, then who? We pull the list of all of the head coaches and or coaches that were a part of the Packers program since Mike Holmgren that went on to be head coaches somewhere else. And there is one name in particular that seems to be back in the limelight. Is that the best way to say it?
Okay.
He was the Packers offensive assistant in 1992. He was the wide receivers coach in 93 and 94. Then he went to the Oakland Raiders as the head coach from 98 to 2001. Then to Tampa Bay from 02 to 08. And then later, again, back with the Raiders. The one, the only.
Amen. That'd be John Gruden.
John Gruden.
Knock on wood if you're with me.
What if he was the Packers' next head coach, hypothetically speaking? Are we down with that? Would that be a good – no? Tell me more.
I think if you're going to move on from a guy like Matt LaFleur, it's because you're finding the next younger new idea type coach, kind of like what Matt LaFleur was at, a decade ago.
Why?
I don't, because you know what John Gruden is. You know already.
Successful?
If he was super successful, he'd already be coaching elsewhere.
Mm-mm.
Where? Why?
He's not coaching at the current time because he went away for a while based on the emails that
sure.
I mean, nothing to do with his coaching ability. It was the whole thing.
Man,
and then Barstool brought him back.
Yeah.
And now he seems to be forgiven and welcomed back into at least the online portion of the world.
Yeah, we'll see if that translates to actually getting a paycheck with the NFL logo on it.
And I don't even know if he's interested, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But I just wondered, based on this list with guys like McCarthy on there, right, who's going to be back in the fold. Mark Murphy is no longer the Packers CEO. Is that a thing? Could the Packers possibly, do we even want Mike McCarthy? I don't know. I'm just, for conversational purposes, if not Matt LaFleur, do we tap back into the bucket of people that are familiar? Nathaniel Hackett was brought up yesterday. He's apparently back in Green Bay, helping Jordan Love and some of the things on offense. He's been in and out, much like another buddy of Matt LaFleur's was in and out a bit last year before he went to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody also asked earlier in the show, and then again just now, what do you think about Raheem Morris? I think he's one of Matt LaFleur's best friends. And if we've learned anything about Matt LaFleur, it's that it's very difficult for him to move on from one of his coaches. I think he takes it very personal.
Yeah.
And in some cases, like Joe Barry, where he's personal friends with the guy and knows he needs to move on, I don't know that Matt LaFleur is super comfortable in that space. He actually talked about this with Bussin' with the Boys, I believe that's the name of the show, and how hard it was for him to sit down with Joe Barry and actually let him go when the time came to fruition and it needed to happen. The time has come for you to join us today at Margarita's Mexican Food and Cantina here in Green Bay. 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff will be live from Margarita's today starting at 9 a.m. We hope you join us for that, as well as the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Thunder Nellis will be in town from noon to 2. All live here local in Green Bay, where I am at WNFL at Margarita's Mexican Food and Cantina, just 2 blocks from Lambeau Field, just off of Lombardi Avenue. Margarita dip is in my future. And Josh, you're coming into town tomorrow for the GB game tomorrow night. We already planned it. We're going to Margarita's for dinner. Dude, I don't know where you're going to have a big old bowl of chili, and then within 4 hours, you're going to be stuffed.
I might have to run to Green Bay to get instead of drive to get ready for round 2 at Margarita's. But all the hype, I mean, everyone go there today, enjoy it, and then I'll get it later.
Perfect. All right, when we come back, we'll check in first here in Green Bay with Dave Schrader from WBAY and then Caitlin Sharkey from WGN. Packers Bears. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Next man up is always the philosophy. Sometimes the next man up just doesn't look like the guy that went down. But the expectations and the standards really don't change. I think we've done a good job here of the way in which we practice, and we put guys in position. I know we've talked about that before, that if they do have to come up and play, hopefully they've gotten enough reps on the show team that they're going to be put in position that they've been working at as time's gone on, and hopefully they can compete and play well for us.
That's special teams coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, Rich Bisaccia, talking about what Matt LaFleur confirmed yesterday. Bo Melton headed to the injured reserve and will miss the playoffs. He noted that it's a knee injury, not an ACL, nothing major, but just also said we wouldn't be able to get him back in the postseason, therefore off to the IR he goes. It's a big loss because Bo Melton's a big locker room guy, a big leader. And it hurts to lose guys like that. But nonetheless, as Rich said, next man up, even though it may not look like the guy that went down. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Joining us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. We check in first this hour with the WBAY Channel 2 Sports Director, Dave Schrader. Dave, that's important that you're first, because after you, we're going to check in with an old coworker of yours.
Yeah, Caitlin, I saw your tweet.
GN, yeah.
Yeah, I had to go on WGN earlier this week to chat with her, catch up with her, and let the Bears fans know some things that might make them want to throw their remotes at their TVs.
Okay, tell us that. That's great.
That's perfect.
I think the way the Bears winning is unsustainable. 6 come from behind wins in the final 2 minutes. Then the last 2 weeks, they were unable to pull off those magic acts. It reminds me of the Vikings 3 years ago when they set a record in one-score games, like 10 one-score wins, and then immediately lost in the first round of the playoffs in a one-score game. Or, I mean, even the 2019 Packers, Matt LaFleur's first year, 13-3, but they weren't killing people, and they got beat very badly by the Niners in the regular season, and then the same thing happened in the playoffs. I just don't think the Bears are quite there yet. The only question is, are the Packers the team that can expose them when it matters now, or will someone else do it down the line?
And tell me, Dave, what can the Packers do? What do you expect the Packers to do to be the team that exposes the Bears?
Well, if they take care of the ball, they'll get it done. Because I think Jordan Love, if he's not knocked out of the game by a helmet-to-helmet hit, I think he can slice and dice that defense. I would expect if they go in the red zone right away, maybe you take the 3 points after after what happened last time. Any sort of early momentum you can get, you can build upon. I think that they will be judicious in when they go for it on fourth down. I think the weather's going to be an interesting one, too. A lot of people look at the offenses and think that it might be a shootout. If there's precipitation mixed with the wind, I could see it being like the 2010 NFC title game, which was like 21-14, or Lions-Bears last week, which was, 19-16, something like that. But I think Jordan Love is going to have something for him. He has not played since leaving the field concussed there. Josh Jacobs has played like taken 5 carries or something since his fumble at the Bears. I think those two will be up for it. And Romeo Doubs, I would fully expect him to make amends for that onside kick debacle. And then Christian Watson, I think he's the one that really changes what opposing defenses do to the Packers. And they didn't have him in the playoffs last year. They'll have him on Saturday.
The weather could, to your point, work in not favor or against the Green Bay Packers, but the same is true for Caleb Williams and the Bears.
Right.
There's a lot of conversation out of Lambeau yesterday about how important it is to have Evan Williams back and how important it is to have Trayvon Diggs make an impact in the game if he's able to. Keyshawn Nixon, Xavier McKinney, where are these guys on these interceptions And is Saturday night something that we can hope that's going to be something we see?
Well, the Bears hit you with a double whammy in turnover margin, right? Everyone knows they take the ball away. 33 takeaways, number one in the league. I'm not sure as many people realize they also have the fewest giveaways, 11 on the season. So they have the best margin because they're literally best at both taking it away and taking care of it. Caleb Williams, I think, threw 1,000 pass attempts, the fewest interceptions by any quarterback in NFL history. So I would not count on takeaways. What you got to do is you got to take care of the ball and then just avoid giving up, gashing runs time and time again. And without Micah Parsons just 3 weeks ago, that defense rallied just a week after the gut punch that it was to see Parsons go down in Denver. I think this Packers team will win this game. Not just can win this game. I think they will win this game.
So I hadn't even thought about this because we've been focusing so much on just the players being healthy and analyzing the Bears. But Dave, there's been a lot of conversation before the game against the Vikings on Matt LaFleur's aggressiveness and being aggressive at the right times. And this all just kind of came flooding back to me when you brought up take the 3 points, maybe when it's there. Talk to me about kind of where your feelings are on Matt LaFleur's strategy with being aggressive. And do you see that being something we're talking about post-game Saturday night?
See, I would like aggression in terms of play calling, in terms of trying to get those huge explosive plays. But I think points may be at a premium. So when it comes to fourth downs, it's different. I want aggressive play calling if I'm a Packer fan, but I also want you to value points in the playoffs. I think it cannot be overlooked the impact of Keyshawn Nixon's fumble to start the wild card game last year. You're going into Philly. It's a tough place to play. You're going to get the ball first. They took the ball first when they beat Dallas as a 7 seed, and then you cough it up right away. Like, if you have a chance to quiet that crowd at all, 1 iota, and take any wind out of their sails in the Windy City, I think you do that early. And I think you can't overreact to the 0 for 5 red zone performance 3 weeks ago. To that, I mean, you can't say, well, we have to get touchdowns, so we're going to bang our heads against the wall and we're going to get those darn touchdowns. I think you need to execute within downs 1, 2, and 3, or, here and there pick it. But I think if I drove the ball down the field early in a scoreless game and I faced 4th and 5, I think it was it wasn't 4th and 1, I don't believe. I think I would take the 3 points there. But at the same time, if the Bears are going to blitz, I want to see Jordan Love rip it down the field like he did at Lambeau Field against them with 3 touchdowns. I want to see the Packers really go for broke in this game because they have so many injuries. You just got to take your shot, as the team has talked about this week.
Dave Schrader, WBAY Channel 2 sports director and also dad. How are you, little dude? Good to see you. He joins us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. People forget sometimes that all these dudes that we see on TV all night long also have to be the dad in the morning and most of the day. That's part of the gig when you cover sports for a living. Well, he wants to join the show, too. It's all good. So, Dave, we can let you go here pretty quick, but maybe one more thing from you. What should the expectation be? We know what all the hope is, and we just got done with the conversation based on what we hope happens, and that not necessarily being a strategy, even though I think it can be, because that's how being a fan is we all hope for the best. What should the expectation be as Packer fans for the Packers on Saturday night because of everything the season has become?
I think the expectation is to go compete in this game and win it, not give it away late, and prove that you're the better team. I mean, anything can happen. Quarterback can get hot. Plays can go this way. Plays can go that way. It was close at Lambeau Field. It was close at Soldier Field. But the Bears have not led for a single second of regulation against the Packers. Acquit yourselves well. That's the expectation. And I expect it to be close at the end. You got to make the plays to win it. But I don't see a world in which the Bears run away with this thing and just have a party on their home field in the wild card round against their rival. I think the expectation is the Packers show up, and I think they will. They lost Parsons the week before they went there last time and played really well until they didn't.
Well, good. Hey, we appreciate you jumping on. We'll let you go, knowing full well that duty matters more.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
Talk to you soon, bud.
Hopefully the team's just as fired up as he is.
Yeah. Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Dave Schrader, WBAY Channel 2 Sports Director. Yeah, I'll be able to jump on with you guys, knowing full well that those kids, we've all been there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've had kids walk in on the podcast. That happens in A, live radio, and B, real live life. But what do you think?
If you're not watching, by the way, you should be. We're on Twitter and YouTube at WI Sports Radio. You're going to see he just needed his watch on. He did. Dad, help me put my watch on. He put
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I needed to put his watch on. I saw he had it on his wrist. Put it up to Dad. Can you help me put this on, please?
I love it. So what do you think about the last thing he said there? He doesn't expect the team to go and squander it on the Bears playing surface in Chicago in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. I think there's reasons to believe that that's the case. I mean, when the game was decided, right, that the Packers weren't going to go to Philly, they were going to go to Chicago. Everyone was saying this is nationally, this is the worst case scenario for the Bears, right? So there's something there to be said that beyond just being a football fan and getting Packers-Bears round 3, it's not necessarily a great matchup for a 2 seed, which usually if you're a 2 seed, you're not worrying about a 7 seed. So there has to be something there as well. That's not just completely out of thin air. And then you add in the fact that you do have those players coming back. I thought Dave made a lot of great points about a healthy Jordan Love, a healthy Josh Jacobs, healthy receivers. That all is going to play a huge factor. I had completely forgotten, though, about the woes of Matt LaFleur, win aggressive, not aggressive, that we had also dealt with because we were focusing on so many other things. So I am interested to see if that's a storyline in a positive or negative way come Monday morning.
Yeah, that storyline from earlier in the week about the national media, specifically some people at Barstool Sports like Big Cat, who's a big Bears fan, and others came out and said that this is the worst matchup ever for the Bears in the first round of the playoffs, to which as Packer fans, we went, wait, what?
What?
You watching the same team we've been watching?
Right, exactly.
Nicolay Law fan talk and text line, 414-677-1250. If that's true, and the Bears, their fans, and maybe them as a team feel like this is a bad matchup, what is the piece of the matchup then that we need to exploit the most? Is it offense in terms of being able to throw and run the ball at the same time, which we haven't been able to do for a number of weeks now?
Mm-hmm.
Is it defense in that, although Dave said we shouldn't expect a turnover in the backfield because that's just not something we've been able to expect? Is it that? Should they be afraid that the weather may play against Caleb Williams? Or just in general, what is it about this matchup that has Bears fans and maybe the Bears themselves freaked out? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line.
Trevor, do you think that if the weather conditions are rough on Saturday night and that, as Dave said, it's not a high scoring shootout type of game, do you think that those weather conditions favor the Packers or the Bears in terms of just who those teams are?
I think it favors the Packers. If the Bears are run dependent, that we know they have in terms of a game plan coming into this, and the weather's terrible and they know they're going to have to run, then the Packers will stack the box to the best of their ability and make sure that they take the run away and play a tighter man-to-man style defense against the Bears in terms of the passing game. On the flip side, if indeed we need to prove the run, there's a chance the Bears play that soft zone defense that we saw so often in the beginning of the year, daring us to throw the football. And against a team, to Dave's point, that has 33 takeaways and 23 of those being interceptions, that might not be a dare that we're willing to take, if you will. We're going to have to run the ball. However, the quick slants that we all despise and the jet sweeps in these weather conditions against a defense that is playing a soft zone and trying to stop the run with their front seven may be the best way for the Packers to open up the offense. And I hate that literally just came out of my mouth. But that's why those plays exist in this offense. Those are hard to play defense against when you're stacked in the box and trying to stop the run. Here comes a jet sweep. Here comes a quick pass straight down, right? The Matthew Golden could show up in this game in a way that we haven't seen him all year. They talked yesterday about being able to depend on Jaden Reed to do some things. We're not going to be able to if the weather does shake out the way it appears to be with high winds, low temperatures, and moisture in the air. We probably can't depend on the long ball from Jordan Love to Christian Watson or Romeo Dobbs. It's going to have to come in smaller increments, and I believe that serves the Packers better.
I agree with you. I also think that that's why getting a healthy Josh Jacobs back is so important. However, I will say you just brought up about, the Packers knowing to stack the box and stop the run of the Bears. Well, did they not know that was exactly what needed to happen against Derrick Henry and the Ravens? And it didn't matter. Now, I understand that the Bears don't have a Derrick Henry, but still, it's that point of I need to see it from this Packers defense. I think that especially if the ball can't move through the air on either side of the ball or for either team, I think it's important that we analyze, do you trust this Packers defense to be able to stop the run? Yeah, I know. I just
Baron Sorrell?
Hopefully.
Yeah. The 414. This is great. Bears fans might be freaked out that the Packers are well rested, which is fascinating because the Packers are so injured that thinking that the Packers are going to be well rested and that should threaten the Bears is hilarious.
Right.
The one above this, though, did you see this from the 218?
No.
I hope when we win, Matt says to his team and to the media after the game, sure is nice beating Ben Johnson twice a year.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? Although Ben Johnson can, if they win, what he said in that snooty opening presser is true. He would have also beaten Matt LaFleur twice.
The 920 says, going to be more deep passes. Receiver knows where he's going. Cornerback does not. With the footing, it's going to be wide open in terms of the receivers running deep if we can make the throws.
Right. And we have
True.
the time to get the ball there.
I guess it's depending on which way the wind is going. Matt LaFleur talked yesterday that the wind was really bad the last time they played in Chicago. One of the throws completely got away from Jordan Love. And Matt, in his infinite wisdom, said yesterday, well, it can't possibly be any windier than it was last time.
Yeah.
Chicago, windy city, brother. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Careful what you wish for.
Speaking of, let's get the opinion of those down in Chicago on this game.
Let's go to the Windy City when we get back. Caitlin Sharkey, who is a Wisconsin woman in her heart, yet currently living in enemy territory, working for WGN. Good for her. Great career move. We'll check in with her next on all things Bears, Packers from down south. I thought it was great, by the way, that Dave Schrader says, yeah, I was actually just on WGN with her talking about this very thing. So I wonder how that landed in their world when he said, here's some things that you might want to worry about.
Yeah, let's ask her.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Caitlin Sharkey next. Stay here. A reminder, come hang out with us in West Allis at Natty Oaks Pub and Eatery tomorrow on National Avenue from noon to 6. The Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis and Wisconsin Sports Daily, plus a special playoff preview show with Tommy Wirtz broadcasting live from Natty Oaks Pub and Eatery, noon to 6 here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, inside Wisconsin Sports, going inside enemy territory. Dun, dun, dun. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Friend of the program. Great to see you again. Caitlin Sharkey with WGN. What's up, Caitlin? How are you?
What's going on, guys? I did not predict a third preview of Bears Packers, but here we are.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You've been 100% right so far. So think carefully before you give your prediction.
I'm already thinking about it. I don't know.
Or don't. So Dave Schrader was just on with us, an old cohort of yours here in Green Bay at WBAY, and he said he joined you on WGN and told you some things that Bears fans maybe didn't want to hear. Will you recap those for us? That's what we want to tell Wisconsin.
Well, the one that sticks out to me, I was like trying to get a pulse of the Packer fan base and what everyone's thinking, because I have a pretty good pulse on, the mindset down here. And he goes, everyone thinks the Bears are frauds. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that'll go well on air tonight. But I mean, I understand it too. And I totally see and understand that perspective of it. It's just funny to hear, because there is a little bit of at least within the media, people don't know which way this game's going to go, because we don't know what version of the Chicago Bears we're going to see. Just like I'm sure there's a contingent of Packer coverage and fandom that thinks we don't exactly know what version of the Packers we're going to see either.
So, Caitlin, tell me we just explained what David said. You had said you got a whole feeling, though, on what Bears fans are thinking, how they're feeling about this game. Tell us that. Tell us what the aura and the energy is around this Bears team going into the wild card game on Saturday.
I think everyone's super excited. Because first of all, no one really expected them to be here in the first place, but that's not enough. Now it's kind of funny how expectations, this is just sports, right? Expectations will leap all of a sudden over a couple weeks, because coming into this season, everyone's like, if they have 8-9 wins, we're going to be happy. We're going to be happy. Now it's like, oh my God, the defense is trash. They're never going to be able to stop Jordan Love. The offense can't score any points. Caleb sucks. It's it immediately shifts the goalposts, which I think is a good thing, because that's a sign that your organization, your franchise is improving. So there's definitely there's not a lot of momentum going into this matchup. I think for either teams, one's lost 4 straight, the other's lost 2 straight. So that makes for an interesting matchup in itself, but everyone's excited. It's Packers week. I feel like there's not much talk about the rivalry this week. It's more hey, they're in the playoffs. We're excited to have a playoff game here in Chicago. We have to go out and win and make a little run. And Ben Johnson looks like he hasn't slept in days. And that's kind of he's very intense right now. I don't think he's cracked a smile in weeks either. So they're locked in, they're ready to go. And now it's it's here, it's ready to go.
Based on your reporting of the fans being up and down, it sounds like you're listening to the score, because that's exactly what that sounds like in Chicago.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Crazy. It's and I understand it, right? Because you go on a run and you have 11 wins in the regular season, and all of a sudden it's oh wow, we should be doing this, and we could make a run, and the Super Bowl is the goal, and Ben Johnson's telling the players to be prepared to play for the next 5 weeks, and all of those things. So, but it is funny, because coming off of that Detroit game, it left you with little oh, this is going to be great. Even though they took it once again down to the fourth quarter, I think there's a big understanding of people hey, you can't do that again, and especially not in the postseason.
Caitlin, I wanted to get your opinion, because obviously you did cover the Packers as well when you were doing good work here in Wisconsin. But it seems it's very interesting to me seeing so many storylines being about the coaching staff and what happens with Matt LaFleur at this point in the season, knowing that there's a playoff game on Saturday. We are more used to, as a Packers fan and with the organization, not worrying about that. And if we do worry about that, it's either week 9 or it's off season. So I'm curious, from now covering the Bears, an organization that a lot of times has conversations about their head coach and not so much recently. Is that odd that is kind of controlling so much of the narrative going into this big game? Already talking about coaching changes, or if that plays a role, or if this weekend, I should say, plays a role in that decision.
I think it's ridiculous, but it doesn't surprise me. I think it doesn't surprise me because that's Wisconsin, and that's Wisconsin sports fandom and the understanding, like, there's a high expectation and they win there and they win a lot, and Green Bay wins a lot and they're in the playoffs a lot. So if you're not doing those things, it's understandable why, people are like, well, maybe this isn't it. Maybe there needs to be a change. And to me, removed from it now, covering my first playoff game in 5 years, mind you, the last one was during COVID. I'm like, couldn't be happier. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. The fact that I don't have to cover a new head coaching search, a whole month off season of like, okay, when are they going to fire all of these things? Like, there's so many things that go into it. So once you're removed from it, when I see the headlines as Matt LaFleur coaching for his job, I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing ever. I understand that people expect a lot out of this organization, and especially of Matt LaFleur. He was brought in for a reason, and that was to win. And people are impatient, especially in sports. That's what we are. That's just fans in general, right? We want to see our teams succeed. So I think it's funny now to look and see, like, is this it? Is this the end of the road? I mean, it's always been ridiculous, but that's a sign of a good organization. I remember leaving a Packer game back in the day and turning around and driving back the night they fired Mike McCarthy. And that was shocking to me. So it's like, nothing's off the table. I'm not going to, but I don't think Matt LaFleur is in any danger of his job. Obviously, you don't want to go out with the Bears ending your season ever, but I think he's pretty safe.
WGN's Caitlin Sharkey joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. People like Big Cat down there in Chi-Town say that this is the worst matchup possible for the Chicago Bears. Why?
I agree. I was telling everyone before the playoffs even, or before week 18 even unfolded, I said, I don't want the Packers. I don't want to see the Packers again. If you want your season to continue, it's one of those things where you play a familiar opponent 3 times in 35 days. Weird things can happen. And like the first 2 games are an illustration of that, right? A last minute interception and a last minute touchdown. And it's like, I feel like once again, it's going to come down to that. Although the Bears didn't want the other high-powered offenses in this league either coming into town. So there's definitely an advantage of knowing your opponents so well, but I don't like it. And I think for Bears fans, do you want to end your season? Whether or not you got 11 wins, you made the playoffs, at the end of the day, it's going to leave a sour taste in your mouth if the Packers send you home.
Oh, man.
That's the hope. That's the hope.
Yeah, I'm just going to cut that. And that was perfect. When the last time we talked before Packers-Bears round 2, you gave us an update on the injury report and the health of the Bears before that game. Obviously, the Packers rested almost everybody that they could before they played the Vikings in week 18 and got a lot of good signs. Josh Jacobs feeling a lot better. Jordan Love not worried about rust, feeling good coming into this game. Where are the Bears at from a health standpoint before Saturday night?
I think fairly healthy if you're looking at coming off a week 18 regular season. I think right now Rome Odunze said he's planning on playing Saturday. He's missed the last 5 games with that foot injury. He re-aggravated. He said he learned a valuable lesson in understanding when you should push through injuries and when you should not. So it's sure sounding like he said. He wouldn't give us a for sure. He said he's planning on it. Caleb Williams certainly made it sound like Rome Odunze is playing this week. So I would expect to see him back. How much he'll be part of the offensive game plan is to be determined. CJ Gardner-Johnson is still in concussion protocol. I don't think we're going to see CJ out on the field on Saturday, but Kyler Gordon did return to practice, their nickel corner. He was limited yesterday. He's not activated off IR quite yet, but if it's now or never for Kyler Gordon, who's missed a lot of the season, and they could certainly use him if CJ Gardner-Johnson's out. But for the rest, they're fairly healthy. They're ready to go. Caleb Williams is healthy, has been healthy. The rest of the offense as well. So Rome Odunze would be the big one making his return, and then Kyler Gordon, of course.
Anybody down there talking about just how awful man, I just can't imagine how awful it would be if the Packers take the Bears out of the playoffs like the Brewers knocked the Cubs out of the playoffs. Gosh, that would be just terrible.
Don't tempt fate.
They're not ready for the parallels here. I mean, it would be something. I mean, it's just there's so much anxious energy from fan bases, I think from both sides. And again, because I've talked to you guys on the show before, I get it from both sides. I hear it from the Packers side of things, and I hear it from the Bears side of things. It's going to be fun, but this is what, like, if you can imagine a cool playoff game in round, like you playing your rival, in your first year as a head coach, even for Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams in year 2, it's going to be exciting. Guys, I was thinking about my prediction. I really don't know. A lot of the media contingent here thinks the Packers are going to win. I started leaning like maybe the Bears just pull it out. Like, they were so upset with how the season ended. Like, they were angry after Detroit's loss, which I think is a good sign too, because teams of the past would be like, oh, well, it's out of the playoffs. Like, no, they were annoyed. They were really frustrated. Ben Johnson was basically saying everything, but I'm disgusted with the offense. So I think there's going to be a lot of like digging deep, soul searching. And I don't know. It's going to come down to last possession.
I'll give you another 60 seconds before you have to give your prediction to talk about now. Another factor coming into this game is going to be the weather. And obviously in game 2 at Soldier Field, they talked about the wind, and Matt LaFleur had comments on that. And as Trevor, as you pointed out, he said it can't be more windy than it was. And the weather conditions absolutely might be. How do you see that playing a role in what these two teams decide to do against each other on Saturday?
Well, I think the weather adds a layer of, you look at these teams and their takeaways and their giveaways, right? The Packers don't give the ball away, but the Bears take it away, at a high rate this season, 33 takeaways, first in the NFL. So you add in, if it's rainy, if there's like this wintry mix and it's windy, that kind of like, I always feel like that kind of weather element creates a clean slate, right? It's whoever is down getting the ball, forcing takeaways, taking care of the football the right way, not making mistakes. So I expect it to be it's going to be warm, balmy, 35 for January standards here in Chicago. But I think if that wind again plays a role, and if it's wet, there's precipitation of any kind, it's going to be interesting, because it's going to be a team that's really good at taking the ball away and forcing mistakes against a team that really doesn't do that. So if the weather plays a role, it'll be this week. And for my selfishness, I hope it's not a rainy, snowy mess, but I'm excited to see it regardless.
All right, so prediction time.
Here we are.
Here we go.
If I'm going with my gut, guys, this is crazy. I feel like I'm just going to get so much hate from this. Like, I'm going to have to log off and like block all the Wisconsin numbers in my phone. I'm saying 23-20 Bears.
Oh,
Caitlin Sharkey, WGN. So good.
I know, guys. Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
Well, it's reasonable, though, just to your point, based on how these games have gone. And everybody and their mother says it's going to come down to either the last possession or something haywire on special teams. And maybe the Packers get a takeaway, even though that's clearly not something we can count on, but the weather plays into that and so on. We were asked earlier, maybe Josh, you brought this up. How many points, if the Packers were to win, do the Packers need to score? And that number seems to have been 27. If you say 23-20 Bears, is that what you think the Bears will have to score in order to win the game? I mean, I know that might be obvious, but tell me where that comes from.
Yeah, I believe like my prediction would change, guys, to you if they go out on their first drive and they don't score. I'm going to think, okay, they're not going to win this game. That was the most disappointing thing about the Detroit loss. I mean, everyone was ripping on the defense and how Stafford was cutting up the middle of the field. Okay, that's great. They only scored 19 points. Your defense only allowed 19 points. In the grand scheme of things, that's not horrible. You can't be down 16-0 in heading into the fourth quarter. And that same thing can't happen against Green Bay. So if the Bears take the field on their first offensive drive and they do nothing and it's a quick 3-and-out, and you let Jordan Love come out here and dice up your secondary that's struggling right now, it's going to be game over really quickly for the Bears. So that'll be the telling sign for me. If they go out there, if they score first, if they don't score first, if they're doing quick 3 and outs, that fourth quarter magic only lasts so long and only happens so many times in a season, I think, guys.
Well, if the Packers win, we definitely want to have you back on next week.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just to hear how
I'll have
all
a lot
that went.
more free time. I'll have a lot more free time.
Hey, it's okay to be right 66% of the time in your predictions.
I know. I
on
won't be
Packers
mad.
Bears.
I won't be upset if my prediction is wrong either. You know?
Good.
Us neither. Caitlin Sharkey, WGN, we appreciate you so much. It's been great to have you on this season and help us with these previews. Have a great weekend. Stay warm and dry, and go Pack Go. Okay?
Thanks, guys. Have a
Thanks,
good one. I'll
Caitlin.
talk to you
See you,
soon.
Caitlin Sharkey on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. What's Up, Wisconsin is next. Where do we go from here? I think to margaritas. That's where we go. We will preview that in the rest of the day, plus what's up in Wisconsin sports today, tonight, and continue to worry,
Analyze,
strategize.
Yeah.
Ugh, can't be Saturday night fast enough.
Oh, my God, I know.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Trevor and Josh want to know.
What's up?
What's up, Wisconsin?
What's up?
What's your plan for the day?
What's up?
What are you doing tonight?
What's up?
Let us know what's up on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250. What's up, Wisconsin? What are you doing today? I hope if you are anywhere near Green Bay.
No. I expect.
Well, what's the strategy? God. Nice, good one. Good play.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Margaritas, Mexican food, and cantina. If my ears serve me well behind the scenes over there, Josh, we are set up, ready to go. I got a picture. The banner is hung.
Let's
the
go.
doors will be open at 9 a.m., 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. We'll be live from Margaritas, Mexican Food and Cantina, just off Lombardi Avenue here in Green Bay, 2 blocks away from Lambeau Field. All things continue to be previewed of the Packers and the Bears on Saturday night. Mitch Thunder Nellis will be in town as well and hosting live the Mason Crosby Show from noon to 2 from Margaritas today as well. The buzz is out, man. There's a lot of people that have reached out to me personally and through the talk and text line here at the radio station in Green Bay. This is going to be a great turnout. I wonder, so this is funny. The restaurant doesn't open till 11, but today the doors are open at 9. No food until 11 o'clock, but I called Margaritas the other day, and I was like, hey, you might want to have a bartender there at 9 just in case.
Yeah.
I mean, they have such good grande margaritas there and chips and salsa and margarita dip. Starving. Totally starving.
Yeah, I mean, why not, whip some of that together at 9:15 in the morning? Let's go.
It's going to be awesome. And you'll be here at Margaritas with us tomorrow for a little din before we head over to UWGB. It's going to be awesome to have you in town. But before that, tomorrow, Josh, you will be at Natty Oaks.
Yes, I will. And you all should be there as well. So a lot of traveling throughout the state, getting ready for Packers-Bears round 3. You're at Margaritas today, and then you're going to go to Natty Oaks in West Dallas from noon to 6 tomorrow. Mason Crosby Show will be there live, followed by Sparky. And then Tommy as well doing their shows from Natty Oaks. I'll be there a little before noon. Big old bowl of chili. If you ever wanted to join me for one, no better Friday than to do it than this Friday. And then we'll watch Mitch Thunder Nellis and the rest of the great lineups that we have here before I make my way up to see you, Trevor, in Green Bay.
I legit hate that it's Thursday today. Like, I want this game to be here in the worst way. We'll do it again tomorrow. We're excited to do it again tomorrow with all of you. Great texts, a great call. We love interacting with all of you on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line 414-677-1250. It just feels, I'm really glad now. I know I was annoyed with earlier in the season with why are we playing on a Saturday night? Now, thank God it's Saturday night because what am I going to possibly do on a Saturday if the game was on Sunday? Just twiddle my thumbs and wonder and hope and strategize and expect and all these things. I have no idea. Tomorrow's going to be rough enough the way it is. Yeah. All right, what are you doing today?
Today, when you guys are all having fun, I got a little bit of work I'm doing with my friends at Visit Milwaukee for Joshing Around and the Joshing Around Milwaukee thing that we do there. And then I got some time with the kiddos. We're starting Jack in swim lessons, and so before we do, it's kind of like the parent time in the pool, and Jordy loves swimming, so whole family's gonna be doing that tonight.
You look super pumped about that.
I mean, it's hashtag dad life. It's all right. I guess I'm going swimming tonight.
All right, let's go swimming.
Always an adventure.
We don't have anything tonight, which is really awesome. And
wow,
I know, right? Well, I hate to say this on the radio. It makes me angry. I'm upset, but it has nothing to do with Josh. I am missing a Suns basketball game tomorrow night to host you at UWGB. So,
oh my gosh,
I know, and they're winners too.
Oh, well, you don't have to be there.
No,
you got to go to your. That's if you don't. No, that's fine. I'll just.
We already had the conversation. Me and Riker. I was like, Bud, I'm sorry that I'm missing tomorrow night. He's like, it's okay, Dad. Like, he's the very understanding one.
Okay.
Whereas if I missed a football game or the other one, he'd be like, what? I thought you were coming to all the games, Dad. I thought you said you weren't going to miss the game, Dad.
I mean, listen, this is my opportunity to meet Doug, hopefully see him break a clipboard or two.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that yesterday.
So we'll see.
I feel like we were set up for that, though. Who orders non-breakable clipboards and then starts chucking chairs?
Right.
That's BS.
Right. And then after making the bet over clipboards.
Yeah. I'm not going to break any of this. Oh, I ordered the ones. Did you throw one? Did you bust one?
No. He made the bet and then changed the rules.
Yeah. Weird. The idea, though, of him not breaking clipboards means things are going well.
True.
And if that means I got to buy us a steak dinner because I lost a bet because the Phoenix are good and he's not breaking clipboards, I'm in. I'll take it. That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. What are you guys up to today? Sorry, fellas. Bricky from Wrightstown. I can't make it to Margaritas today. A thing called work got in the way. Wish I could see you guys there. And I have an idea for you two.
Okay.
What is your idea, Bricky?
Yeah. Well, I mean, one, he says hashtag FOMO. Yeah, it's the fear of missing out will be strong today if you're not at Margaritas. Because, again, not only are you going to see John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, Mitch and Ellis, Trevor Thomas is going to be stopping by. There might be
there the whole time.
There might be a few other guests not confirmed.
We did tell Doug Gottlieb to stop by yesterday. We'll see if he does. I'll shoot him a text on the way over
Well,
there.
there's a chance that Doug Gottlieb might be there. It's going to be a great time. You're absolutely going to want to get out there, especially if you are in that area and new to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. What a great opportunity to go and meet everybody.
My wife just texted me and goes, "Hey, they're winners too." I almost spit out my drink. Remember that from earlier in the season?
Yeah.
Trevor only goes, "Son, if you have a chance of winning."
You want me to see your game? Better come away with a dub.
Dad ever. All right. Margaritas, Mexican Food and Cantina. We are about to be live from there. As soon as I hang up this microphone, I am heading that way. So we will see you guys today here in Green Bay at Margaritas, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Rami Makloff, John Kuhn, 9 to noon, and Mitch Thunder Nellis is on his way, who just texted me, well, there's going to be chips and salsa, right? Yeah, bud. Yep. Yeah. There will be chips and salsa and the full menu at 11.
Attaboy.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We will see you again tomorrow.
Because we're not done yet.